Dear Capricorn, the upcoming month of May may not be loud, but it will make you pause and take a closer look at the life you're living. Subtle yet certain changes have already begun to make their way in, and if you're attentive, you'll sense it from the very first days. Something is shifting out of its old orbit. A relationship begins to grow distant. A job suddenly feels forced. A feeling you once tried to bury now refuses to be ignored. It's no coincidence that you're turning to astrology right now. Perhaps a part of you is seeking an explanation or a gentle reminder that everything is moving and you need to be ready. So, what quiet signals is the universe sending your way this May, Capricorn? Step back for a moment. Let's explore the greater pattern unfolding beneath the surface and trace where the powerful current of this month truly begins. The canvas of May begins with a powerful shift. Pluto begins its retrograde motion right in your sign on May 2. This is the planet of transformation, of power, of symbolic death and rebirth. When it turns inward in your energetic zone, it signals a time to examine what you've been trying to control and whether those things have started to control you instead. Something within you will shift quietly but deeply. Maybe an old ambition no longer excites you. A role you've been trying to uphold suddenly feels outdated. A plan you once believed to be solid now needs to be dismantled and rebuilt differently. Then, from May 22 to 23, the Sun and Venus both move into Gemini, activating your 6th house, the area that governs daily routines, health, work patterns, and practical responsibilities. This is when every delay or neglected responsibility comes back into focus. You will be forced to reorganize your entire rhythm of life. If you don't, your body might speak up before you do. Right after that, on May 23, the full moon in Sagittarius illuminates your 12th house, the realm of the subconscious secrets and hidden emotions. This is a psychological awakening, one that makes you confront a truth you've suppressed for months. Feelings of emptiness, heightened sensitivity, or the urge to withdraw might arise, not because you're weak, but because your mind needs silence to clear away the background noise. May won't come with fanfare, but it will come with unmistakable signs if you're listening closely. And it's not here to push you off your path, but to pull you back onto the right one. After months, you may have been out of sync with yourself. With such significant movements at play, May doesn't only affect one area, it reverberates through all aspects of your life. From work, finances, and close relationships to your physical and emotional well-being, everything is entering a phase that requires recalibration. And to help you navigate this with clarity, let's dive deeper into each domain where these changes will show up most clearly. In May, Capricorns may begin to sense that their love life isn't as stable as it once appeared, even though on the surface everything still seems under control. If you're in a relationship, emotional distance might gradually grow in subtle ways that are hard to notice. You're still texting, still spending time together, but something no longer clicks, as if the two of you are living side by side, but no longer looking in the same direction. There are things you haven't said, and your partner is also holding on to silences they haven't shared. Around May 23, when the full moon occurs in Sagittarius, the area of your chart that governs the inner world, subconscious, and hidden emotions, everything you've been trying to avoid may suddenly rise to the surface. These repressed feelings may push you to finally confront your truth, even if you've grown used to setting them aside in favor of work or duty. For single Capricorns, this month carries the tone of nostalgia. An ex might unexpectedly reach out, or a dream could stir memories of something that once felt profoundly meaningful. But this time, those memories aren't returning to pull you back. They're showing up to help you look within. As the full moon illuminates the darker corners of your mind, you may begin to see clearly what was missing in past relationships and which patterns are no longer worth repeating, especially from mid-month onward, with Venus moving into Gemini, the zone linked to daily routines and work. You might find yourself meeting new people in professional or learning environments, or simply while changing a small habit. A spark of attraction may emerge through simple, unexpected moments. But there's no rush to define anything. What this month truly asks of you is emotional honesty, because only by being real with yourself can you discover what you genuinely need, not to fill a void, but to build a relationship that holds true meaning. This May will strongly impact Capricorn's career and professional direction, not just due to external pressure, but because your inner voice is beginning to speak louder. Starting from May 2, Pluto, the planet of deep transformation, begins its retrograde right in Capricorn, forcing you to ask yourself, does the path I'm walking still reflect who I truly am? You might start to feel out of place in a position you once loved, or realize that the very skills that helped you get ahead are now weighing you down. This is not a negative sign. It's a gentle reminder that it's time to update your definition of success. In the workplace, unexpected changes may arise in ways you can't anticipate. A key colleague might leave, or you may be called back to handle an issue from a project you thought was long completed. Schedules will shift, roles may be redefined, and you won't have much time to prepare. However, the influence of the Sun-Uranus alignment around mid-month may help you spark creative ideas to manage the chaos, even if things feel overwhelming at first. Capricorn may not be the fastest to adapt, but you are one of the most resilient when it comes to turning the tide. Because you understand that mastering the game doesn't always require bold moves, but rather refusing to be pushed off the board. The bright spot of the month arrives in its final days as Jupiter, the planet of growth and opportunity, forms a favorable trine with Pluto. This may bring a collaboration offer from someone you've worked with before, or an opportunity in a field you never expected to explore. If you stay open and avoid dismissing it based on outdated assumptions, you could discover a new path, not instantly glamorous, but with potential to become a meaningful long-term fit. Financially, this isn't the time to expect major windfalls, but there will be small surprises that allow you to breathe easier. It might be a refund, a long-delayed payment finally arriving, or even a profit from something you once considered a loss. After May 25th, when Venus settles into Gemini, the area related to work, service, and earned income, you'll begin to feel more comfortable with modest but consistent financial inflow. Pay close attention to how your money moves in and out, because even a small adjustment in how you manage it could help you stay in control over the coming months. In May, Capricorn will clearly feel that family pressure is starting to increase, not because of intense conflict, but because you've become the one expected to take the lead when something goes wrong. With Pluto retrograding in your sign, the weight of responsibility may start to feel overwhelming, sometimes because others place it on you and sometimes because you take it on yourself. You might find yourself worrying about the health of an older family member, especially signs like insomnia, memory decline, or subtle emotional shifts that leave you unsettled. If you live far from home, a call or message from a loved one may force you to rearrange your schedule to check in, provide support, or make an important decision about caregiving. For Capricorns living with their immediate family, the pressure is no less real. You may be the one carrying most of the household responsibilities, from caring for children and supporting an overworked partner to managing school tasks, paperwork, and daily logistics. The hard part? You do so much, yet no one seems to recognize it. This can easily make you feel overlooked, almost invisible in your own home. As Venus moves into the house that rules your daily routines, your heightened attention to detail may also increase your sensitivity to silence or emotional distance from others. During this period, a typically reserved family member may unexpectedly open up and share things they've been keeping in for far too long. Financial stress, marital strain, or workplace exhaustion may surface, and true to your nature, Capricorn becomes the one they turn to, not because you speak in flowery comforts, but because you stay calm when everything else is falling apart. Your grounded presence is exactly what they need. If you live in a multi-generational household, Be mindful of minor tensions around money, personal space, or parenting styles. The Sun-Uranus aspect around mid-month may spark sudden flare-ups, not because anyone is truly wrong, but because each person holds tightly to their own sense of what's right. In these moments, your calm presence and deep listening may be the only things that restore peace. By softening your tone, slowing your response, and choosing your words carefully, you won't just maintain harmony. You'll remind everyone that true strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and full of compassion. The very thing that holds a family together from within. From the very beginning of May, you'll begin to experience a different kind of fatigue, one that doesn't stem from work, but from somewhere much deeper. With Pluto beginning its retrograde motion in Capricorn, your body may respond with a sense of heaviness, a slowing down, as if you're carrying a worry you haven't yet named. You might feel unusually drowsy during your most active hours, or notice your energy fading even without exertion. This isn't illness. It's the universe's quiet way of saying it's time to pause, to listen, and to recover. Beginning May 22, when both the Sun and Venus enter your 6th house, the zone in astrology that governs health, daily habits, and bodily discipline, signs of exhaustion will likely become more pronounced. Many Capricorns may encounter back pain, digestive disturbances, insomnia, or disrupted biological rhythms, waking in the middle of the night or struggling to maintain daytime focus. For those in recovery from past illnesses, the healing process may slow or require a complete reevaluation of your current approach. Especially on May 23, the full moon in Sagittarius stirs your subconscious, bringing recurring dreams, intangible anxiety, and a subtle sense of restlessness. Your mind may feel overstimulated, particularly if you were born between January 5-15, a group most intensely impacted by this astrological configuration. You may find yourself waking at 3 or 4 a.m., unable to fall back asleep, or flooded with memories you thought had long faded. These aren't random disruptions. They are quiet but profound reminders that rest is essential, not only for your body but also for your mind and soul. May isn't a month of acute illness, but one where fatigue can quietly accumulate. The danger is in its silence. Exhaustion doesn't crash all at once. It builds slowly, almost imperceptibly, until you realize one morning that your motivation has vanished. If possible, give yourself space. Sleep more, eat more consistently, and let go of obligations that aren't urgent. As the planets enter their retrograde rhythms, this isn't your cue to push harder, but an invitation to turn inward and tend to the parts of yourself you've long ignored. When the body speaks up, it's the universe's way of reminding you to stop and listen. But this May, it's not just your physical health that needs attention. The movement of the planets is revealing far more about your path this month. Let's dive into the week-by-week astrological forecast to see how the energy unfolds. The first week of May opens with an energy that's uncomfortable but necessary. On May 2, Pluto begins its retrograde motion right in Capricorn, making you feel as if someone is quietly taking advantage of you. It might show up at work, where you're carrying more than your share while others enjoy the rewards. In matters of the heart, someone who once hurt you may reappear with sweet words, but this time your heart won't be so easily swayed. This is the week you finally acknowledge that your boundaries have been crossed, something you may have sensed for a while yet avoided acting on. Let this be the moment you stop enduring just to keep the peace. Your silence will be mistaken for consent, and that's why you must speak up. People won't value your worth if you continue to carry the weight in silence, and you don't have to keep holding on to what no longer deserves to be saved. If you choose to stand firm, you may be surprised to learn that someone has been quietly observing how you handle things. It could be a manager, an elder, or someone with influence, quietly watching, measuring your strength. They won't recognize your true potential until you show that you won't be pushed around. Opportunities don't come from pleading, They come when you show you know your value. Let this week be your quiet declaration. I know who I am, and I won't let anyone take advantage of me again. The second week of May places you in a position where you must choose between efficiency and emotion. A plan already in motion may suddenly hit a snag, perhaps due to shifting personnel, a disrupted schedule, or someone backing out at the last minute. This forces you to pause and reassess the level of risk involved. Those who once made firm promises may now change their tune, and you'll come to understand why relying solely on empty commitments is never wise. Disappointment may arise, but it won't defeat you. It will simply sharpen your awareness. In your relationships, you might feel that someone is no longer aligned with you the way they once were. Maybe they've become distant, texting less, or even criticizing the things you're putting so much effort into. Their silence or subtle disrespect can weigh on you. But instead of blaming them, this is your moment to reflect. Are you abandoning yourself just to keep others happy? No one deserves unconditional sacrifice from a Capricorn who knows their worth. Astrologically, Mercury is nearing the end of its retrograde phase, so communication may still be unclear and plans can be prone to misunderstanding or delay. But it also gives you a chance to correct small mistakes before they turn into bigger issues. Avoid rushing into contracts or major decisions unless you've taken the time to review every detail. In stillness, you're building a stronger foundation, and sometimes pressing pause to reset is the wisest move you can make. The third week ushers in a more uplifting wave of energy, but that doesn't mean you can let your guard down just yet. A new opportunity may arise, perhaps involving the expansion of your network, a group collaboration, or an unexpected invitation to join forces with someone. But don't be blinded by the sparkle on the surface. Behind what looks exciting may lie a subtle test of your trust, your negotiation skills, and your ability to assert clear boundaries. If you stay anchored in your principles, this could become a pivotal moment that elevates your role and recognition. In your love life, signs point to the beginning of a new connection or a meaningful conversation with your current partner. You might begin to wonder, is this relationship strong enough to truly go the distance? For single Capricorns, someone may unexpectedly catch your eye, someone you'd never considered before. But let your heart speak only after your mind has drawn the map. Don't rush to offer your trust, but don't shut the door on authentic emotion either. Astrologically, the Sun is approaching Jupiter, generating a powerful field of expansion, mentally, spiritually, and in terms of opportunity. You may feel the urge to think bigger, to break free from limitations you once accepted as truth. But growth doesn't mean chaos. This week invites you to dream boldly, but to act with intention. True success doesn't come from the wildest leap, but from the wisest, most well-placed step forward. The final week of the month marks a distinct shift as both the Sun and Venus move into Gemini. This shift directly influences your daily work, routines, and overall well-being. It may feel as if someone has hit the reset button, prompting a full reorganization from your schedule and deadlines to the way you communicate and engage with others. It's a great time to restructure your pace of life, but it can quickly become overwhelming if you try to take on too much. Capricorn, remember, you have nothing to prove to anyone. You only need to fulfill your role and do it with wisdom. In the professional realm, you're likely to be assigned new responsibilities or moved into a more flexible role. For some, this brings exciting experimentation room for creativity and fresh ideas. But for Capricorns who are already stretched thin, this could feel like the final straw, a clear sign that it's time to reassess your entire lifestyle. The message is simple: if you don't prioritize your well-being, the universe will find a way to make you stop. So don't wait for your body to send a warning. Emotionally, the week may feel a bit disorienting, especially if you're trying to express something but can't quite find the right words. It could be a conversation about shared responsibilities or a heartfelt confession you've been holding back. With Venus in Gemini, fleeting emotions, Impulsive remarks or misunderstandings may arise more easily, but if you stay centered and choose your moment wisely, this could be the perfect time to bring clarity to a connection you thought had faded into silence. Sometimes, the most difficult months are the ones that cleanse your soul, not through loud pain, but through small, quiet moments you thought you could overlook. May is one of those months. It's not explosive, not dramatic, but it seeps into every corner of your life, making it impossible to pretend that everything's still fine. Capricorn doesn't fear hardship. What you fear most is the quiet kind of exhaustion that drains you without warning. And this month you'll be called to face that head on. Under the light of the full moon, with Pluto in retrograde and other planets retracing their steps to reflect what's true within you, you begin to see who truly stands by your side and who's only around when you're needed. The things you once turned a blind eye to now speak too loudly to ignore. Amidst all these contradictions, you begin to choose again, to choose clarity over blind sacrifice, to preserve your energy for what's truly worthy, and to move forward with intent. The universe doesn't choose the strongest, it chooses those who are honest with themselves. So if you're feeling confused, drained, or hollow, don't blame yourself. This isn't weakness, it's a whisper from within, gently reminding you it's time to come home to yourself and rebuild your strength from the inside out. Leave a comment below. I'm ready to hold on to what's truly worthy of me, as a soft but powerful declaration to the universe. And if this message resonates with you, share this video with another Capricorn, because maybe, just maybe, you'll be the light in their journey too.